Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. I apologize for being slightly late. I think I'm only late by a minute though, but thank you. Right. I am receiving lots of messages. I've tried my best with what's happening. Now, many of you know, because most of us watching this live stream, believe it or not, are UK citizens. We do have ones from Australia, ones from the US, South Africa. I just want to say thank you, and other places. Thank you very much, especially the ones in Canada. But there's a lot of nonsense happening at the minute in the UK. Now, we have just seen the collapse of France, and the Prime Minister of France has just been voted out, and he's no longer the Prime Minister. There's calls in France to remove Macron as president. But there's also very, very high echelons in the UK government calling for the removal of our own UK Prime Minister. Over 2.9 million people have signed a petition for a general election. Many of us that signed that fully understand there will not be a general election, but there could very well be a vote of no confidence within the Labour Party to remove Stacey Starmer as the UK Prime Minister. Now, why is that important and what's happening with this petition? It's extremely important because right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a knock on my door during this live stream. We've reached the level now in the UK where there could be a knock on your door for going against what the UK government want. They are policing social media. Police forces all over the country now have dedicated cyber teams that look after those that they call disruptors. And they try to punish disruptors, allegations against people that go against the narrative. We have seen it. We have seen over this Labour government right now, in such a short time, we have seen the fact that there has been dozens, if not hundreds, of individuals that post things online being arrested and charged with different types of public order offences. We have seen hundreds, if not thousands, of prisoners, violent prisoners, dangerous prisoners, being released from prisons into our society. We have seen many people from abroad that come and arrive on our shores being given keys to the city. Go and relax. We're seeing our pensioners being suppressed. Now, this petition was flying. This petition was getting 100,000 signatures every hour or 2 hours. And then bang, it just stopped and it slowed right down. Now, I can't prove this. But I have spoken to individuals about the petition and they believe the petition is being suppressed. I did a poll. Many other people that I know have done polls on social media. Hundreds, if not thousands of people have tried to sign the petition and have not received a link from the petitions to click in to make their signature count on the petition. So the government, in my opinion, have been suppressing the petition. Many people have not received links to confirm their signature. It's shocking what's happening. At the minute, what has happened, and I spoke to people today, I know people that voted Labour that are now kicking themselves. I know people that voted Tory are kicking themselves. I know people that voted Reform are quite proud of voting Reform. Now, I've sent all this information to the chairman of Reform, Richard Tice. I've sent it all. I am absolutely shocked at what's been happening. Now, before we go any further, I'm fully aware the Tory party are a disgrace. I'm fully aware of that. I'm not arguing the point. But I'm seeing a different side of a Labour. I'm seeing a side that I do not like. I mean, I always know they were corrupt. You got to remember that back in the day, it was Tony Blair, the Labour Prime Minister, that released dangerous terrorists onto the street of the UK, but at the same time allowed human and public interest lawyers to pursue British soldiers and veterans for killing evil people in Northern Ireland. That continues to this day. So many people haven't signed the petition. I get that. I get that. This is not about Labour or Tories. This is about doing the right thing. What we're having now is veterans that should be at the front of the queue, which aren't. They aren't. You got to remember that the Veterans Affairs Office has been abolished by Keir Starmer. Student fees are going through the roof, and students Imagine being a student and getting your degree and not be able to pay it off for like 15, 20 years because it's so high. Winter fuel allowance. Now, the winter fuel allowance, which is the petition, which is part of the petition we're talking about, listen to this, through the coldest part of December, yet Labour say they'll discuss the petition on the 6th of January. Now, I'm telling you now, people, come the 6th of January, many pensioners will have froze to death. Many pensioners will have died during winter, choosing eating over heating or heating over eating. It's shocking what's happened. And I'm stunned that we haven't hit 3 million signatures yet. I mean, we got to 2.95, 2,950,000, and then the petition sort of stopped. It's getting about 7 or 8 signatures every couple of minutes now. It's shocking the way it's behaving. And that clearly shows suppression. Now, I have told many people that did sign a petition to check their junk, their spam folders on emails, and it's not there. There's nothing there. So they've tried to sign a petition where it says you need to click the link when we send it to you, and lots of people aren't receiving the link from the petitions committee, which is very, very strange. That in itself is suppression. Many of you are saying, well, you know, it's the Tories' fault. I get that. I get that. That's the delusional side of politics, how they try and split us. I mean, it's like America, blue and red. It's over here, isn't it? Blue and red. It's the same two colours, isn't it? But as an MP that was killed before, Joe Cox once said, there's more that brings us together that divides us. And I think we should all care about our pensioners, about our students, about our armed forces. Our NHS is broken. Every government blames the other government. Still politicians, isn't it? Now, Sir Keir Starmer has just vowed at once, there was once where we had vowed that we would lead the G7 in our economy. He's just pulled back on that. Rachel Reeves has now stated that there will be more tax rises. Who's going to pay for this? You can't tax us to death. You have to give us some money to pay our bills. You can't keep rising their bills. But that's what seems to be happening. The boats. Do you know that boats arriving in the UK since Labour took over? Since Labour took over 20,000 boats have arrived in the UK. Go and Google that. Go and check the figures. They match up. These people need housed. Who's paying for it? Keir Starmer wants to punish those that are sick and on benefits to get them back into work. But he doesn't want to punish those. He needs everyone back in work to pay for our visitors, doesn't he? Of course he does. But when you bring it up, you're classed as a racist. It's not a racist. It's not a racist to look after British passport holders, regardless what colour and religion you are. How's it racist to look after religions, all religions and all colours and creeds? We want to look after British people first. But when you say the word British first, or Britain first, it falls in the category of a far-right group, doesn't it? We can't win. We're being suppressed. We're being monitored on social media, constantly monitored on social media, in case we say the wrong thing. It's like they're waiting there. They're waiting there with their helmets and visors on, with a stick, waiting, going, let me know when he says a certain word, and they come at you. Now, I don't care what you think about this. Look what they've done to Tommy Robinson. Now, I know I received many emails from you, and many of you asked me things about Tommy Robinson. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I try and avoid that topic, because that topic, even though many of you agree with the fact that he should be released, it's all those that are waiting for you to mention certain names, trigger points. It's shocking how he's been treated. It's shocking how his family's been treated. It was shocking the fact that the media actually called him by his real name rather than his name that he uses. Yes, he does things unconventionally and sometimes he upsets people, but he has a point in a lot of things that he does, doesn't he? He has a point in a lot of things that he does. And there's a reason behind what he does. I don't want to talk about it on here, but there's a reason behind what he does and why he's so hell-bent on getting out to the public information which is being suppressed from us. And I understand that information, because I once did a live stream in my own kitchen, and I'm telling you now, people, within an hour of that live stream, I had 2 police officers on my door that said to me that I had carried out a hate crime. I had to sit down in the kitchen with the police officer and explain to them why I said what I said. I educated those police officers and they left. It's shocking how they behave. Believe it or not, and I always say do your own research, under this new Labour government, working from home, civil servants working from home has skyrocketed. Nobody wants to work. Everybody wants expenses and benefits. We have seen what they've been doing. Yet still, I am like talking to a brick wall, trying to get everyone to come together to sign a petition to help us. They're going to class pensions very soon as benefits. Even though you've worked, every one of you have worked extremely hard all your life to give to this country, to build this country, to make it better for your grandchildren. But if you're a farmer, they're going to take away part of your inheritance. Take it away because they need more money. Why does the UK government, which is one of the biggest economies on the planet, constantly need more and more and more money? Why do they need us? They want our blood. In fact, not only do they want our blood, only 3 days ago they were talking about there wasn't enough blood in the British Army in case there was a major conflict. Today we're hearing that if the UK British Army was to go up to a war, they would last 6 months and we'd be wiped out. Scaremongering. Scaremongering. The British Army wouldn't be under any pressure, neither would the public, neither would any of its citizens, if we would stop interfering in other people's shit. But we constantly do it. And the reason why we constantly do it is because of politicians. You only have to look at the amount of US senators that currently have vested interests in US military manufacturers and arms deals. So every time the White House gives billions in manufacturing and military across to Ukraine, senators make money from it. And I'm sure that's happening with our own members of parliament. It's absolutely shocking. What I'm trying to ask you to do is to come together, sign a petition, and try and fix our own country. It's shocking what's going on. It's shocking that the media are putting out its own little spins. Imagine an ex-officer in the British Army who received a Gallantry Medal, a military cross, and who did multiple tours of Afghanistan, coming out with a statement, he's now an MP, coming out with a statement saying, Labour are deliberately destroying our armed forces. If we do not up our defence spending to protect our own country, then if we went to war, we would last 6 months and we would be annihilated. Now, he's a Labour MP and he's coming off of that statement. At the same time, the Prime Minister has announced getting rid of Chinooks, getting rid of 2 warships, getting rid of all our drones, cutting our armed forces, at a time when our nation needs to come together in case there is a conflict. The UK Prime Minister is making us vulnerable. I can't believe he's still in office. It's shocking. And it's shocking that we're letting this continue. Well, listen, that's enough about that. That's enough about that. It's up to you. You want to sign a petition? I'm going to actually get the link to the petition and I'm going to pin it in the comment section of this video. But before I go, I'm going to mention one last thing. And that is this. You all know that a dear friend of mine passed away not that long ago. Richard Chapman passed away. He taught my son fishing. He taught my son a lot of things, actually. I liked him. He was in his 70s, still quite young. And he spent a little bit of time in Papworth, Royal Papworth Hospital up in Cambridge. And I went to see him there. He looked a shadow of his former self. And he's getting buried on the 23rd of December. I have been asked, I've been given the honour to carry his coffin. And it'll be a sad day for me. There's nothing I can do to bring any of this back. But I have noticed something tonight, which I'm going to say. I've put something on my community page on YouTube. I put something on my community page. It's a link to the Royal Papworth charity. Now listen, I would never ask anyone to do something I'm not willing to do myself. So if you can't spare £1, either donate it to the charity, or if you can't, if you can't, then just share the link with other people on social media that might be able to help. The Royal Papworth charity in Cambridge is a fantastic place. I seen the care they put to Richard and how they made it at ease, and they made the transition from life to death very, very easy. So if you can, it'll be wonderful. If you can't, then I understand, because it's Christmas coming up, isn't it? Christmas. So it is one of those things. See, I'm a little bit emotional about different things happening at the minute. One's about my country being destroyed, the veterans being destroyed, pensioners being shit on, students being shit on, farmers being broken, and yet taxes are going to continue to rise in April. And it's quite sad. But listen, thanks for taking the time to watch this live stream. I do appreciate it. I'm not going to harper on. I'm going to leave now. I'm going to move on. There's other great YouTubers out there that probably have lives later on. I'm going to shoot on. But listen, thanks for taking the time to listen to me. As I said, I'm going to pin the petition at the top of the comment section. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and stay safe.